One. Yes, let's get going. Hello, hello, everyone. My name is Cass Thomas, and this is our 7 steps global communication call. We do a free Zoom once a month about global communication, and the 7 steps to flawless communication is a book in lots of different languages. Here's an English book, but we have it in about 20 languages. It's a very small book, right? And it's a very small book and simple and quite profound. We also have a 7 steps program with teachers around the world. A lot of them are online. Hello, teachers. And we do free Zooms, we do book readings, we do 2 hour intro classes, introduction classes on communication, going through the steps and playing with 1 or 2 of the steps in those intros. And we also do 1 day classes called the Prelude. And the prelude is something that is at the beginning, right, of really a road that you'd like to take. And teachers do that 1 day prelude class live and online in many different languages. And you can find all the teachers on 7steps.us. And just go up and look for the teacher's hat at the top, and you can find them. And we also do this 2 day 7 steps explosion class, and teachers are on there. And it's really about playing with these 7 steps, which I will talk to you a bit about them, these 7 steps. And today we're really going to play a little bit with incorporating, being in communion with business. Yeah, it's the first week and month of a new year, 2024. And what kind of business are you interested in? We do some business training with communication, and the teachers who are engaging with corporate training and really teaching a bit about how to communicate with your business will also be sharing some information about that. It starts really with you, all the communication. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask those questions. And you can put them in the chat and we can discuss those. And there's a lovely 7 steps abundance advanced class, which is about abundance in business and in your life and what you would like to, even if your business is with your cats or dogs or your family or your way of communicating in a style that is uniquely yours, right? So we have some sounds of silence that we will hear in a moment if
Eh?
just to get those. Yes, the sound of silence. Awesome. And Disha, do you know how to do that? The sounds of silence. Hello, my old friends. Yeah. All right. So the 7 steps, just to go over them for a moment, are really about communicating with others, right? And a lot of times people have often asked about, how do you communicate with people you work with? How do you communicate with your CEO of a company? How do you communicate with your employees? How do you communicate when you are about to hire someone or go to work with someone, right? And we're always often looking at how to communicate with other people. And the first phase of the 7 steps is first communicating with you, right? Because if you are communicating with someone else and trying to communicate in the right way with them, but you're not communicating with yourself, right? You're trying to connect with people, perhaps establish, your business, um, get involved in other businesses. But if you're not communicating and connected with you, then who is it that they are communicating with, right? So this first phase of flawless communication is about connect with you, right? And recognize step one, your magic, meaning what is unique and different about you. So many of us, and so many businesses, and so many employees, and so many management style, and so much of the work that people do, a lot of times it's quite common. But each business, each person has something that's unique and different about them, right? So a lot of times the business may not be going well. A lot of times, the employer or the employee may not be acting in a certain way, but each and every way that you act, engage with others, talk, and express what you're aware of is different, right? What one of the taglines of the seven steps is there is so much more that unites us than separates us, right? So, what is it that's unique and different about you? What is your magic? What is your business magic? What is different? Some people may work for a business in a different country, in a different city, right? There's so many different organizations involved in one business. But what is unique about the one you're working in? And this is something that if you're willing to look at that first step about show me the magic of me, of my business, of what I do, of how I do it, that's unique and different about others, then you begin to recognize that there's probably something unique and different about everyone and every business and every organization, right? So, first, connecting with you allows you to be interested in seeing what's unique and different about others, right? Especially something that's boring or someone that's boring. It's impossible to truly be boring. And you can never be boring. You can never get you wrong. So, first, connect with you, right? And know what's unique and different about you, about your way of doing business, about your approach to certain things, right? And then you'll be able to see and invite others, right, to recognize what's unique and different about them and engaging with people in a very different way, right? So, step one, show me the magic. Step two, converse with your body. A lot of times we're so busy in our minds thinking about what we're supposed to do, what we have to do, how we have to do it, right? But if you're willing to really access that sixth sense, right? That your awareness that may not be definable. However, it's something that's unique about you, and it's a way you connect with your magic, your genius, your way of really communicating with others, right? Without going into judgment about it. And then you'll be very aware of when you are not connected with you. Does anyone ever have that? Does it ever show up? Have you ever worked with people or been in a business or had an organization and you're so busy trying to make it right. However, you have not been connecting with what's unique and different about your approach to business, about your approach to communication, about your approach to life, right? So the second phase of the 7 steps is called disconnect. And knowing when you are resisting people, when you are resisting sales, when you're resisting learning, when you're resisting something, you've got walls and barriers up. Step 3 of that second phase is lower your barriers. And it's really cool. We'll share with you the Zoom where we, with a bunch of 7 steps teachers, we show how to really lower your barriers and walls so that you can actually see beyond your wildest imagination. We say in access consciousness. So the step 3 about lowering your barriers is so that you don't disconnect from your capacities, right? And step 4 is something about how we disconnect from people, how we're not present. And it's called go beyond the veil, right? Have you ever pretended to be a perfect business person, a perfect facilitator, a perfect host, a perfect promoter, a perfect salesperson, right? Instead of really connecting not only with you, but not disconnecting from others, right? So, this disconnect phase is about recognizing when you're disconnected from you, and perhaps when someone else is disconnected from you, and how you can reconnect with them in a very different way. And in business in particular, when you are willing to see things from different angles, and what is the approach that you can have to your life, to your business, to communicating, to having a little bit of fun. So the third phase is about reconnecting. And it's so easy to reconnect with you and others once you have done those first 4 steps, those first 2 phases of connecting with you, knowing when you're disconnected from you, and reconnecting in a way that will actually create more in the future. And since this is the first month and week at the moment of the year, and a whole new approach to your life, to your communication, and to your business, you can engage with people in a very different way. Step 5 of this third phase is about engaging. And a lot of times we're communicating with people, in a very direct way, only in mind what we want to get across, only in a way that we usually talk with people. But these 7 steps actually are an invitation for you to see what is the way that you can converse, communicate with other people so that they actually hear you, see you, and can then engage with you. So, this engage the universe is going beyond your mind, going beyond your perspectives, going beyond your points of view, going beyond what seems like the way to go towards business. I remember years ago, there's a book that was talking about working 4 hours per week. Now, with, computers and online Zooms and social media and, you know, having your own business, a lot of times people are working 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, But this particular book years ago was talking about working 4 hours a week. So, how often are you working? And when you're working, are you having fun? Right? So, this engaging with the universe is about looking at different approaches to what will create more abundance for you and for the world. Because the more you are connected with you and recognize when you're disconnected, you can reconnect not only with yourself very easily, not only with others that you know, not only with your business and your sales and your marketing, but also really with the world. Step 6 is about expanding your zone, and sometimes when you expand your zone, something pops up for you to say to someone. And we play in the classes with different ways to approach different people. Um, and it's really a lot of fun. And also, playing with things that you've never considered as the right way to say something or the right thing to say to someone. But if you expand your zone, what comes up for you? What comes into your awareness, into your mind, into your speech, right? Maybe exactly what that person has in their mind, has in their desire, has in their world. And that will open up a flow of communication with them in a very different way. Done a lot of corporate training in New York City and hotel, five-star hotel businesses, in also in Italy, around the world, in Japan and South America, and also in Europe and in India and in different places. And we think that people are different, right? But we're really 99%, if not more, the same. So, what makes us the same, right? Besides the nose, perhaps, or the, ears, or the desire to have success in business, right? What makes us the same is that we all live currently on planet Earth. It's our home. And if you are physically present on planet Earth and your business is working here, you're not working on Mars or Jupiter, all the time. If you are working here, then your business also has something very common as other businesses, right? And so step 7, right, is about connecting with the earth and knowing that you can establish true connection. It is step 7, and it's the 4th phase of the 7 steps. How simple is that, right? Connect, disconnect, reconnect, establish true connection. It's simple, it's easy, but it's quite profound. Because when you are really establishing true connection and knowing that your business, your life, your body, right, is here on planet Earth, right, then you never, ever feel out of place, right? And you can never lose. You either win and have success, right? Or you learn something and you have a different approach to business. So, one of the things that we would love to invite you with the 7 steps is to know exactly, right, what the flow is in business, right? To start with your life journey, right? And your experience in corporate or individual business, right? And subtly introduce corporate training, right, to others. That's what we're doing with the 7 steps. We maybe 7 years ago, we were doing lots of corporate training, and lots of people are really interested in inviting businesses and corporations to communicate in a very different way. So we do have the corporate training program, and showing you how the 7 steps fits in perfectly in the corporate life, and how you fit perfectly, even if you've never done up until now, that's my deli phrase, up until now, even if you've never done um, a business or worked with corporate, what fun could you have knowing that your life is your business, right? And I love the various trainings we have. I have these lovely ladies and men that are working in different modalities on business training. I have lots of interviews with them. I'm doing a podcast once a month on something called Super 7 TV. And the podcast is called Dancing with Riches, right? Which is also my second book. But it's also about being in rhythm, right? With the energy of change, and recognizing how, if you are trying to stay the same, right, then the world keeps flowing, the business keeps flowing. So do not abandon you. Do not abandon your business. Do not abandon the business called your life. Do not abandon your magic. Do not abandon others, because you are home with others. And whether it's family, whether it's kids, whether it's friends, whether it's teammates, whether it's employers or employees, or different businesses that you're engaged with, you can have more fun if you're willing to be and engage with your flawless communication. So we have some really amazing 7 steps teachers that are on, that are doctors, lawyers, um, husbands, wives, engineers, singers, dancers, and they engage with so many things, whether it's Reiki or meditation or access consciousness, or so many different things, because there's no exclusion with the approach that will work for you and your business. And any way that you can be it, do it, and enjoy it will actually make your life more fun, make your heart warmer, make your bank account larger, and will also invite others to engage with you. Yeah. And you don't have to resist it. You just have to choose it. Okay. So I would love to invite a, a newly married guy to come on with me. He's going to be doing a 1-day class tomorrow, and he will also, of course, be participating in the 7 steps abundance that we have coming up in a couple of weeks. Hello, Thomas, Monsieur, Mister. How are you?
Um, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? You're actually you're very inspired today, and people in the Spanish chat are saying that this is a marvelous explanation that you're saying.
Oh, thank you. Gracias. Thank you. Teşekkürler. Şişe. Merci. Grazie.
Gracias, gracias.
Yes. Yes. How is your business explosion going?
Well, it is exploding, actually. I have moved from Argentina to Chile, from Chile to Peru just for 8 hours, but I was there. And then right now I am in Ecuador, where I will be living the following like 2 years. So my business is moving with me everywhere. One second, I'll translate that.
It translates that. Um, he's living in Ecuador, and I've been to Ecuador several times, and also working there. And it's a little bit like the equator, Ecuador. It's really cool. Do you know how to? And just saying, it's great to know how to say hello in a language. Hola. You say hola in both Portuguese and Spanish, but there's an Hola in Spanish, and it's just the Ola in Portuguese, right? It might be finished. Yeah. So, what is the contribution that you would like to be for people in terms of communication? I think you'd be doing a prelude class tomorrow in Spanish, yes? We
Yeah, I am. I am doing the prelude class tomorrow in Spanish. We are looking at new horizons in this class. So this is the new year. For me, it's a new country. There's a lot of changes, right? I just got married like 3 weeks ago. So this new horizons thing is how could we contribute to our creations for the future through communication, which is just the way that we can link and engage everything in our lives. Let me translate that.
He's translating. And one of the things this is called, this free Zoom, is about global communication. And a lovely, I'll tell you in 1 second. I like his lips moving, right? And a lovely seven steps teacher. It's been a seven step teacher many years ago from Turkey. She was just talking about the seven steps and the global communication. And somebody said, what's the difference between global and international? And she said, well, once I asked Cass about that, and international, sometimes we're traveling and moving to different countries, right? I, yeah, or cities. I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States, and I moved to New York because I needed something larger. I needed something bigger. I needed to be engaged with more people from around the world. New York City is one of those places. And then I moved to Paris for a year of studying. I love Paris. And then I moved down to Spain to learn Spanish also. And currently I'm living in Italy for over 20 years, right? But international is when we're traveling or when we are communicating with people from different countries in different languages and different race, colors, religions, right? But global is knowing, step 7, that we are connected with the earth and that we are global, right? So if you'd move somewhere, and just like Tomas was saying, he's moved to Ecuador, and he does or will feel at home there. I felt at home in Ecuador when I first went there. Yes. So what is global communication?
That's a question for me.
Yeah. To you.
Um,
To you.
so
there's not a right definition of it. There's, but since you are global, what is global communication for you?
Um, for me, global brings this energy of we are all interconnected. So as we are even even intertwined, I would say, not just interconnected. It's like we are weaved one with the other. So we are so linked to each other. So when we get to this global energy of connecting with people through communication, we realize exactly what Seven Steps says. There's more that unites us than separates us.
Absolutely. Go ahead and translate. Thank you so much and have an amazing time. All right. So at any rate, you can find, we can even put it in the chat for you, the upcoming classes with the Seven Steps teachers. There's no prerequisites for them. The one-day preludes, the intros. I also will be doing an intro with two lovely teachers, one from Turkey, Burcu, not only a lawyer, but an amazing business person. Arendira, not only she's from Mexico, living in Spain, amazing business um, person doing training. She also does lots of modalities. And it doesn't really matter what you think you're supposed to do, how you are supposed to do it. I love an example from Access Consciousness, found accessconsciousness.com. You can find more about that. But the founder of Access Consciousness is Gary Douglas. Amazing, amazing. He was actually here in my house for the first time. He came into an international class. I invite people all the time to come and do things in different countries and different languages. I invited him because it was only an English speaking modality years ago. Um, but he hired someone and for business that called, his name is Dane, right? Dr. Dane here. And he hired him to do something specific the first time, to make phone calls, because that's what he had decided he needed, somebody to make phone calls to help with the business. That Dr. Dane never made one phone call. But Gary Douglas did not fire him. He actually had an approach engaging with this Dr. Dane here from a different perspective, to see things from his points of view and to see the magic of this guy he hired. And he didn't fire him, right? Dr. Dane then became a worldwide famous person and the co-creator of Access Consciousness. So please, this is just an example, and I have 100 examples of this, but I love this particular example because maybe someone's hired you, or maybe you have hired someone, or maybe you're working in a business and you don't feel like you're doing correctly what they want you to do, right? Or maybe you've hired someone and they don't seem to be doing what you'd like them to do, what they're supposed to do, what you hired them to do. But if you're willing to play with these 7 steps to flawless communication, right, and see things from different perspectives and have clarity about what you would like to obtain now, but also in the future, then anyone that shows up in your life, it's not by coincidence. There is no coincidences. So engage with your magic and see the magic of others and see how in this particular 2024 you can have fun being a global communicator, even if you never change your city or your country or your language engagement, but you can and will have global communication with the abundance of business and incorporate business into your life in a way that can and will change the world. Yeah, because there's nobody that does you better than you. And so I hope you will play a bit or play again with these 7 steps because they are easy and they are simple. And are you willing to be easy and simple and yet quite profound? All right. So I hope that this was helpful or inspiring, or at least you got to see a part of you. Because the more you're willing to connect with you, the more you illuminate and ignite the connection of others, not only with themselves, but also with your magic. And you inspire them to be theirs. And how much abundance in business can we be enjoyed with this particular year? Have lots of fun, and we will, it's usually the number 7. So we will be having another free Zoom on a different topic in the next month, 2 + 5. So on the 5th of February, on the 4th of March, 4 + 3. And also, we will have lots of events you can join us on. And let us know what your magic is and how you can and will share that with the world. Thank you so much for joining, and have an amazing, amazing 2024. Thank you. Bye-bye.